Hey, what's up? This is Tarek here from smartbiketrainers.com, and this is the Direto XR. This is the latest Direto smart trainer from Elite, and it is now Elite's top-of-the-line direct drive smart trainer. The new Direto XR comes with a bigger punch and can replicate up to 24% incline and has a maximum power output of 2300 watts and can measure that power within 1.5% accuracy thanks to that integrated OTS power meter that the Direto is known for. And a little spoiler for you, it was pretty darn good, and I'll dig into the numbers later in this video. But before we get there, hopefully you find this video helpful and think this guy's channel is pretty cool. I want to subscribe to it, and also I'm gonna give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so without a doubt, from the get-go, the Direto was one of Elite's most successful trainers. It was priced right, accurate, and was the first to successfully enter the mid-range trainer lineup. So Elite is making this trainer their top tier, meaning we might not see any new updates to the Elite's Drivo, Elite's high-end smart trainer. Instead, they upped the specs on the Direto XR, and also they upped the price a tiny bit. So now the Direto XR retails for $950. That's up from $900 US, but you do get an 11-speed Shimano cassette installed. Previous versions did not come with the cassette. So that's a little bit of a saving for you if that 11-speed cassette is compatible with your bike. And since we're talking about upgrades, let's go through what else they upgraded in the Direto XR. It has a much bigger punch and can now replicate up to 24% incline. The previous versions max out at 18%. Also, the XR supports up to 2300 watts versus 2100 watts the previous version had. Still comes with an integrated OTS power meter and can measure power within 1.5% accuracy. That did not change. The XR does have a slightly heavier 11.2 pound flywheel, where the previous version had a 9.25 pound flywheel. So a little heavier, giving you that little better ride feel. Out of the box, the Direto XR comes with the legs pre-assembled, so that overall unboxing and setup experience is much better than the previous versions. All you need to do is take it out of the box, and as long as your bike is 11-speed compatible, all you need to do is mount your bike, calibrate it, and you are on your way to start riding. The calibration process can be done within Zwift app itself, or you can use the Elite My E-Training app to run the calibration. And to check for firmware updates, there's a whole separate app called the Upgrado. Not sure why Elite does not just add the calibration to this app as well, just to make that whole setup process a little bit easier. But that's where you can check for any new firmware updates and run the update from the Upgrado app. The Direto XR is compatible with both road and mountain bikes with 130, 135 5mm hubs with the quick release and 142 12mm with the through axle adapters. It is 9 to 12 speed compatible, and you can get adapters for the XD, XDR, and Campy cassettes. It broadcasts power, speed, cadence, and ANT+, FEC, and Bluetooth. And in Bluetooth, it will broadcast all that information in under one channel. So if you have an Apple TV, you should be able to have an extra channel available for a heart rate monitor, for example. Oh, and it does come with a wheel riser as well. The Direto XR felt really good riding around Zwift. It has a good ride feel and responded well to changes in gradients. It has enough power to support all climbs on Zwift and other apps. As for power accuracy, it was good, really good. In sim mode or erg mode, it was accurate and just spot on with my crank-based power meter and Alcioma pedals. And in erg mode, it was very good in the small gears, but then I noticed some separation in power measurement as I went to bigger gear. But the overall experience was good. Still has some limitations that I will explain, but overall, I found it to be very similar to previous models. Elite does claim that the erg mode is a bit smoother with the XR, but I personally did not find it to be any better or any worse than previous models. So when you are in erg mode, you have your workout with different sets. Each set has a target watt that you are supposed to stay at. With a smart trainer, the trainer will make adjustment to the resistance to keep you at your target watts. So regardless of how fast or slow you pedal, the trainer will increase and decrease resistance to keep you at your target watt. Some trainers can do this better than others. So as you enter an interval and your target watts go from say 100 watts to 300 watts, you generally want the trainer to make that switch quickly, maybe not too quick, but quick enough to get you to your target watts within a few seconds. The Direto XR was pretty good at this, and it took about 2 to 3 seconds to go from my recovery sets to my VO2 type intervals, and then bringing me down to easy watts. Moving on to longer sets, this is where I like to see how the trainer maintain erg mode with different gearing combinations. With the Direto XR, the smaller the gear, the better it behaves. The flywheel is slower, and it can react to changes faster. And overall, you will have a smoother erg mode experience. I personally do not like riding trainers in the small chainring. It doesn't feel natural to me, and I usually ride in the big chainring. So in the second 10-minute intervals, I switch to the big chainring and the middle cog, and you can see there is a little separation in power measurement. Not much, still within range, and we're only talking about 4 watts in the full 10-minute interval. Now, when going to a much bigger gear, this is where you probably should not be riding this gear anyway, but that's what I do here, and I try to find the limitations on these trainers. With this gear, the Direto could not bring me down to my target watts of 234 watts. It kept me around 250 watts with cadence of around 77 to 80 RPM. And I also noticed the power measurement was a little off. The Direto was measuring about 3.95% higher than my Alcioma pedals. So if you're like me and like to ride in the big chainring, as long as you keep it somewhere in the middle cog, the Direto XR should work just fine. Moving on to cadence, the Direto XR calculates cadence and does not measure it directly with a sensor. This is very typical with almost all trainers except few. Overall, it was decent at calculating cadence, but you will see some spikes and drops here and there. Personally, I am fine with that. Seems to work just fine within intervals in erg mode, but as soon as you drop to recovery sets, cadence tend to fluctuate a bit. As for noise, the Direto XR is as loud as the previous Diretos, so there isn't much of an improvement in this area. It's definitely not noisy by any means, and I think you'll be very pleased with it. If you live in an apartment, any trainer with a flywheel, with a physical flywheel, which is 99.9% of trainers out there, will generate some vibration, so just be cognizant of that. Okay, I think I covered it all here. Is it worth an upgrade from a previous Direto? I would say there isn't enough for me to make it worth the upgrade, but if you are looking to get a new smart trainer, or thinking of moving from a wheel-on trainer to a direct drive trainer, I would highly recommend this trainer. It just ticks all the boxes for me. If you want more information, make sure to check out smartbiketrainers.com. Also, if you are interested in the Direto XR, check out the links in the description below, and also check out the price tracker on smartbiketrainers.com. This is where I keep prices updated for all trainers, and I go out and look for any deals out there. But if you buy using these links, it helps the channel out that way, and I appreciate it. Okay, there you have it. Let me know if you have any question down in the comment section. I'll be checking out your comments and questions down there. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.